So we're going to break down step by step exactly how to blend the Radiesse. I'm going to show you how to do it. Most important thing when you order Radiesse, get Radiesse without lidocaine, because when you get it without lidocaine, you actually get a little more product, and they give you these handy dandy little accessory kits that are so good because you have your 3cc syringe in there, and ta-da, you have a Allura lock in there. And that's really important when you're blending. So that comes for free when you order the Radiesse without lidocaine. And bonus, you get more product because they haven't put any lidocaine in it. So I love that. That does come with some of the needles in the bottom. We'll put these out here. Sometimes I use these, sometimes I don't. So this is what your Radiesse is going to look like. It does have a little bit of moisture in the bag. Don't get weirded out by that. That is normal. So this is how it's going to come, nice and thick, lots of product. This is such a beautiful product to use if you want to feel like you can really make a difference without using 4 or 5 syringes of an HA filler. So here we go. I am going to show you how easy this is to use. What I like to do is blend it with lidocaine. It can be 1%, it can be 2%. It actually does not matter. But it's just nice to have a little more lidocaine than what you have to have for Radiesse to take the edge off as you're injecting them. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a 3cc syringe. I like to use 18 gauge needles because I'm impatient. And if I use the smaller needles, it takes so long to drop the product. So we're going to use an 18 gauge needle. You don't have to, but it just makes it a little bit quicker. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw up 1.5 of lidocaine. Now, for women, I either do 0.8 or 1.5. 0.8 if you want it to be a little bit thicker, 1.5 if you want it 1-to-1. Now, this does make the product quite a bit thinner, but rest assured, I promise you that you will still get a lot of results from it. And it's a great way when you're starting with Radiesse to learn how to use it because it's much softer, it is easier to massage. You still have quite a bit of swelling, so I can't say that you don't have swelling, but should you have a problem with a vascular occlusion, it'd be much easier to break up because it's thinner. So I rarely use Radiesse full strength, even though I've been doing it for years. It just is so thick and just a little more difficult to manage. So I've got my 1.5 here, and we'll put up the dilution for both male and females for a thicker concentration and then a little bit of a lighter concentration. Understanding that the lighter still does quite a bit. So you're going to put this Radiesse right in the lidocaine. You're going to see it just make its little swirly pattern in there. Most important thing is here. Take off that Radiesse before you blend it because there is not enough room to blend the lidocaine and Radiesse in this. So you're going to take that off. You're going to grab your other 3cc syringe. You're going to connect it to the Allura lock. Make sure you have a nice tight connection, and you're going to pass it back and forth 20 times. Now, as you get used to doing this, you can always add in a little PRF. You don't have to use lidocaine. I would recommend you at least put a little bit in, especially if you get the product without the lidocaine. And you're going to see how this product just blends perfectly. It doesn't separate. It's just amazing. So now you have someone who has bought one syringe and you have 3 mLs to work with. So it's very lovely. You don't have that pressure of what can I do with just one syringe for them. If you leave it in the 3cc syringe, it's so easy to aspirate. Look at how easy that is. It just glides, just super silky, super simple. Let's take a look and see what it looks like. So really nice product. You're going to see it doesn't just flatten out. It's got some nice form to it. But when you move it, you can see it's just very soft and silky. You might think to yourself, well, gosh, this doesn't seem like it's going to do anything. You'd be surprised, and you will be surprised and impressed when you inject this in the tissues, how nicely it gives some lift, gives some nice volume, gives some nice structure and shape, even on the jawline. Now you can have a little bit thicker, but I would start with a 1-to-1 until you're comfortable with it. I do recommend switching it back to the original syringe, and here's why. When you're injecting with the 3cc, and you see me do this a lot, it is really easy, very easy to hold on to, very easy to one-hand aspirate. All those things are great, but it's also easy to put too much in because it's hard to really identify how much is just one or a 0.1 droplet. So if you're doing 0.1s, really hard to see with this. So not a bad idea to grab your original syringe back, reconnect it to the lower lock, and then just pull out one full syringe. Now, this syringe is a little bit more difficult to work with, but it really helps you keep an eye on exactly how much you're injecting. And then you just leave these and you can pull from them. I like to use a 25 gauge 1-inch needle. You can actually use this product at a 1-to-1 with the needle that they provide. Put little drops of numbing on your patient. Again, you don't have to numb, but a benefit of numbing is that you get some vasoconstriction with the epi. We love to use the lidocaine. We get this from Darby Dental. They're cute, they're small, very individual for each person. And what you can do is mark out where you're going to inject them, do tiny little droplets of lidocaine, then they can't even feel anything. And then you can just go in right through those spots and do your injections.